Riveting match this past match against Nashville. Talk to a little bit about how we keep that momentum going into New England this weekend.
Yeah, I think everyone should have celebrated in a big way the other night in terms of what our players were able to do to come back. I think that was it's deserving of what the effort was. It's deserving of what the result was and what it meant to keep our season going. But at the same time, I mean, I said this in the post-match, by no means can we go over the top about it. The best way to really honor a match like that is to have a similar result, and you're going to remember that match a lot more at the end of the year if we keep this momentum going, have a good performance versus New England, and give ourselves a chance to make the playoffs. So that's exactly how the guys have come back in the last 2 days. There's no one that feels satisfied by what happened the other night, and that's the way that we keep the momentum going.
Perfect. And then Matt, we'll take some from Zoom now.
We'll go to Brendan Hartlove.
Hi, Troy. I'm going to be filling in for Dave again on radio this weekend. Incredible game on Wednesday, but you guys were playing from behind. There's been a number of times this season where you guys have conceded early on. What are the conversations like with the team to focus on that first 15, 20, 45 minutes? Is there a fix for that kind of thing?
Yeah, look, I think on the one hand, there's a lot of matches where we start in a positive way and we end up taking the lead. I think over half our matches this year, if I'm correct on that, I think it's been 17 matches we've taken the lead. And unfortunately, we dropped points during those times. And so that's something that we have to address and probably in the off season, I would say. And we're trying to address it every single day. But in the off season, we're going to have to take a deeper dive into that reason. And the same thing holds true for when we're down. And this is a little bit more of what I like, is that when we're down in matches, we're second or third in the league, and coming back and being able to rescue some points from those situations. And so, the combination is how do you take the lead and sustain the lead, and how do you not, start matches and give up early goals like we did the other day in Nashville. I can say this, we can't go down in matches like that at this stage of the year and expect to keep digging ourselves out of it. If it happens, then I hope we respond. But we need to take the initiative in a much better way. And that'll be something that we challenge the group on how we start the match and hopefully sustain that level through 90 minutes, because that's what it's going to take to get anything off of New England in New England.
We'll go to Stephen Goff.
Troy, wanted to ask you about the emotions of the other night for you and for the team. And how do you, now going forward, how do you either harness that or suppress it, or kind of a combination of both?
Yeah, Steve, I saw you jumped on a couple minutes just after we started a little bit early here, so apologies for that. But I said something similar in the first question that was asked, which is, the emotions of the game the other night, I think, are warranted. You should feel good about the way that match went. And how we fought back in such a dramatic way. But the way you honor that is by putting in the next performance. And I said something to the fact of we're going to remember that match a lot more if we keep having the momentum going forward and actually make the playoffs this year. It'll be forgotten about, if we don't continue to figure out ways to win matches. And again, you use better words. You have a better word choice and vocabulary than I do, Steve. Suppress is a really good word. We need to probably make sure that we refocus, and we have over the last 2 days and tomorrow even in our preparation going into the match. That'll be the way that maybe I won't use suppress. We'll refocus the group in the best way possible.
Yeah. And checking on personnel, any incoming or outgoing for this game?
Like I've told you, David Schnegg has continued to make a lot of progress. I don't know where it'll be for him in terms of being available. I think he will be, but then in regards to him actually being able to play minutes in this match, that might be a little bit of a stretch. We don't want to put him in any jeopardy to re-injure himself, because he's made so much progress in the last few weeks. But at this point, that's the only one in terms of coming back into the squad and right now, coming out of training, we look like everyone's fit and ready to go.
So Schneck, so he will travel.
It's likely. It's likely.
Okay. possibility of playing seems.
Yeah,
pretty low.
it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. I
Yeah.
wouldn't rule it out, but I also, I always try to speak honestly. I don't see it being a situation where he's playing significant minutes.
Imagine playing on turf also plays into that.
Yes.
decision.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, got it. All right. Thanks a lot, Troy. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, man.
We'll go back to Brendan Hartlove.
So actually, kind of similar to Steve's first question, you've been able to call on a lot of guys this season, whether they're in the starting lineup or not. Players have come in and out of that lineup too. What is it like for you to kind of manage this team over the course of a year, knowing that that attitude has been, from what it appears, very good in terms of being able to call on anybody at any time?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think that's been one of the strengths of the 2024 season is that everyone's played a part at some stage, what I would say in regards to the players' mentality, we try really hard as a coaching staff to value everyone. We value everyone and put a lot of time and energy into trying to make sure that they, whether they're playing significant minutes or not, see the pictures that are going to be required of them in their position. And, the relationship aspect of things is, I think, a really strong suit of this coaching staff, just trying to manage the players and make sure that they understand that we care about them as humans first before, them just going out and performing a task, and it's just transactional. And someone like Gabby comes to mind, right? Like Gabby, it was hard for Gabby in that stretch of maybe April, May, June, because he's such a talented player, and he was frustrated and unhappy with me, and that's okay. I understand that. And maybe, you see the way that he plays now, maybe he had every right to be unhappy. But there was just certain things that we were seeing at the time that we challenged him on, and it's amazing to see a guy like that just reach his potential, and we hope that he keeps doing that. But he's an easy reference point after you score a couple goals like he's scored not only last match, but in the last period of time. And we're going to need him and the next guy to be able to step up against New England this weekend to be able to keep moving forward.
And then quickly, you kind of switched that back five, back three over the last couple games. Now that you are a couple games into that, how have you seen the players respond, and what kind of improvements or tweaks have you noticed that have kind of led to some success?
The one thing that I would say is that that group, every one of them are fighters. I mean, everyone will fight for every single ball in the field. I think we have to challenge ourselves to limit the opponent from opportunities and goals. We've given up too many lately, and so the continuity of being able to play the same guys helps in that regard. Because again, they have the personality that they want to defend, they want to put everything on the line, but we have to couple that with output in terms of just keeping the opponent off the score sheet, and that will be something we communicate this weekend because we've given up too many goals this year.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
And Troy, we have one last question submitted via Zoom. What are your overall thoughts on the matchup against New England this weekend? Obviously, another tough road game against a team that is also playing for playoff position.
Yeah, we look at ourselves first, and we always say against any opponent, and particularly at this time of the year, we want to go out and we want to play the match on, in the way that we see fit in terms of our identity. And it's not an easy thing to do in New England. And where they are right now, they're a really talented group that they still have everything to play for as well. They have another match to play. We have 2 left. They have 3. So they have a game in hand. And they're a team that can get going in a really, high-octane attacking manner if you allow them to. And so they're going to be set up well. I mean, Caleb it's not a coincidence that he's won 2 championships in his career. And, he's someone that I have a lot of respect for in terms of the results that he's gotten over the coach of his coaching career. And the combination of playing at New England, hard place to play, very talented roster, and well coached, it's going to be a tough matchup. But I hope, back to what I said in the beginning, we go out and display our style of play and how we want to play, and that'll give us a chance.